Hello everyone, in this video we are going to solve this problem, knapsack problem number 1. So the statement says this: given two arrays, ball and weight, where each element represents the value and weight of an item respectively, in an integer w representing the maximum capacity of the knapsack, the total weight it can hold. The task is to put the items into the knapsack such that the total value obtained is maximum without exceeding the capacity W. Okay? Note: you can either include an item completely or exclude it entirely. Fractional selection of items is not allowed, and each item is available only once. Okay? This is the examples, and this is the constraints. The ball size and weight size is from 1 to 10 to the power 3. The capacity of the knapsack is also the same, and the values for the value and weight. Okay, so this is the task. So for this question, we are going to solve this question with the technique that I mentioned in the previous video. Okay, the technique take or not take. Okay, and this says that we can take the item only once. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so as mentioned, we are going to use the technique take or not take. Okay, or not take. Okay, but we need to memorize the results, because if we don't do it, we're going to have time limited exceeded, because we are going to make DP on subsequences, or this is the technique, DP on subsequences, and we are going to have to raise to the length of the array, that is going to be something like this. Okay, so this is a very large number, so we need to memorize this. Okay, so let's start declaring the DP array, and for this let me declare first n is going to be ball size. Okay, I'm going to call it DP, and it's going to be the size n, and with the capacity, that is W. Okay, capacity plus 1. I'm going to initialize this DP with -1. Okay, so let me write the function here. I'm going to pass W. I'm going to pass with as capacity. Okay, I'm going to pass the vector ball by reference. Also, I'm going to pass the vector of weights, and I'm going to pass the index, and I'm going to pass what else? I'm going to pass the DP array. Okay, the DP array. So okay, we have capacity, ball, weight, index, and the DP array. So what is our base case? Okay, so our base case is going to be when index reach the end of the array, and this is the end of the array is the size of one of these array, ball or weights. Okay, I'm going to use ball in this example, and for this I'm going to return 0. Okay, because we cannot do anything from here. And here I'm going to ask I'm going to ask if I has something in my DP. If I have calculated something before, I'm going to return that to avoid make several calls and repeat the same recursion tree. Okay. Capacity, and here I'm going to make the technique take or not take. Okay. I'm going to have take a 0, and here I'm going to ask if I can take this element. Okay. For this I'm going to ask if capacity is greater than equals to the current weight. Okay, that means that I can take this. Okay, so take is equals to whatever this function returns. Okay, whatever this function returns, I'm going to pass capacity minus the current weight. Okay, I'm going to pass the vector ball, the vector weight, the vector, I'm going to pass index. For this I'm going to increase the index because the statement says that each item is available only once. Okay, and so I'm going to increase the index, and I'm going to pass the DP array. And for not take, I'm going to just call the I'm going to make a new call. Okay, I'm going to pass capacity, I'm going to pass the vector val, I'm going to pass the vector weight, I'm going to increase the index, and I'm going to pass the DP. And here I'm going to memorize the solution. Okay, so for index in for the DP in the index and capacity, I'm going to memorize the maximum between whatever returns take and whatever return not take. Okay, and I'm going to return this capacity. Okay, so basically this is all. Basically is all for this question. Let's call the function here. I'm going to return my function. Okay, I'm going to pass capacity, I'm going to pass the vector val, I'm going to pass the vector weight, I'm going to pass the index, is going to be 0, and I'm going to pass the DP array. Okay, so let's run the code. I have an error here. Capacity, oh okay, this is W. I have wrong answer here, so it's going to return me 0. Okay, stake capacity, okay, I forget something here. For each whatever this returns, always we are going to return 0, but we need to add whatever value is. Okay, so but what the value in this index plus whatever this function returns. Okay, so because we need to calculate the maximum profit. In the profit is the value. So we have accepted for this test case. Let me submit it. And as you can see, we have solved this question. This is a very good time, and we pass all the test cases. Okay, so what is the time complexity in the space complexity for this question? The time complexity is big of n, where n is the size of the vector, cross W. Okay, I think the time space complexity is the same. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next.